All right, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here with Adam Burrows. Adam, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about a problem that you've faced?
Sure. So my name's Adam Burrows. I'm a active early stage venture investor here based in Denver. Been here for about 11 years. Came here. I was part of the senior management team at Home Advisor, which went public in fall of 17, buying Angie's List as ANGI Home Services. I was there for almost 9 years. Then I joined the team at Guild Education for a year to help grow that business. And they're doing quite well, and then left there about a year ago to focus on my passion, which is really working with early stage founders and helping to grow their business.
Great. Can you tell us about a problem that you face that you think other entrepreneurs and business leaders might also face? And
Sure. So I don't know if this particular one specifically entrepreneurs will also face, but I think it certainly can be generalized. So when I joined Guild, I came from Home Advisor. Home Advisor has an incredible sales culture and sales organization, one of the strong suits of the business. And I grew up in that environment, right? So when I joined Guild, one of the things that I was tasked with was creating and building and scaling a sales team for the company. As soon as I joined the company, though, I learned pretty quickly that due to the industry that Guild is in higher ed, there's some unique regulations. One of which is you cannot pay commission to any sales reps. So all of a sudden, I was coming in at a senior management level. All the kind of knowledge and best practices and blueprints that I thought I was going to bring and hit the ground running and get started, throw them all out the window. Wow, how do you build a sales team and hire great sales reps and incent them to do a great job without paying incentive commission, right? Like that's the number one tool that all sales teams utilize. And so, I was kind of thrown for a loop there. And after, spending 10 minutes being like, what the hell did I get myself into? You reframed what I was doing and looked at it as a really interesting opportunity, right? And a really interesting challenge and said, hey, I'm going to throw out everything I know, right? And use that actually as a benefit. I'm going to say, I'm just going to start from first principles, right? Okay, what are the things we're trying to solve for? What are the things that people care about? And how can we merge those into one thing? Yeah.
Hold on one sec.
Sure.
Oh, crap. It says I've been signed out.
Oh, did we not get any of that?
We did, and I screwed up. I should have just let it go because it looks like it's still recording. Okay. I'll splice it. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine.
So let's go back and just start that question. So what? And I'm so sorry about.
No, it's fine.
But all right, what is a challenge that you face that you think other entrepreneurs and founders might face in their journey?
Sure. So I don't know that other founders are going to face this specific challenge that I encountered, but I think the general principle is one that every founder and early stage employee is going to face. And that is, you come into a problem with a situation with a certain set of expectations, a certain set of how things are going to go and how to do things. And you're going to be completely thrown for a loop and have to do something totally different. So let me give you the example in my experience. When I first joined Guild Education, and for those of you who don't know, Guild Education is a company that provides education as a benefit. So works with some of the Fortune 100 like Walmart and Disney to help their employees access higher education options via their employer. And so when I joined the company at the senior management level, I knew that I was going to have to create and build and scale a sales team. That was going to be one of the things in my purview. And coming from Home Advisor, which is a company that has an incredible sales organization and sales culture, and we had done a lot of things there around building a sales org, recruiting great sales reps, creating really, really effective sales compensation commission plans. I felt like coming into Guild, I was ready to go. I kind of knew what to do, and we were going to hit the ground running. Well, to my surprise, I learned pretty quickly when I joined Guild that higher education had some unique legal requirements and parameters. One of which is you're not allowed to pay incentive compensation or commission to sales reps in higher education. And that came out of some of the issues that for-profit educational institutions were doing years ago. And so when I heard that, I was immediately, knocked back for a bit and said, wow, what did I get myself into? How can you do this? How can you create a top performing sales team without commission? Everything that I knew, all the experience and blueprints that I was bringing in that I thought I could impress everybody with, throw them out the window, right? I'm starting with first principles. And so after reeling for a little bit, I decided to actually reframe and look at this as a unique opportunity and a unique challenge. And how can I actually break the problem down to its first principles versus just maybe even being kind of mentally lazy and taking something I knew already worked, right? Starting with the real fundamental foundational levels of how do you go build a sales team, what do people care about, and how do you affect it in this environment? So an example of this was, I think we ended up doing this really, really successfully at Guild, and Guild now is a unicorn with a really high performing and exceptionally effective sales team. But when laying the foundation for that, we said, okay, you still want to have people, a great sales rep is somebody who's going to be really highly motivated and extrovert, right? They want immediate feedback, right? Typically that comes in the form of money. You want top performers to be highlighted still. There's an ego component. Sales reps want to be top sales reps want to be recognized. We still wanted to capture those pieces. Are there ways to do that without money? That's what the question that I had to ask. And found that there really are, right? There's other ways to get recognition of folks besides money. There's, there's awards, there's highlighting folks in front of their peers and showcasing performance and really doing that in a thoughtful and conscious way. And then similarly, how do you make sure to manage out low performers? Because oftentimes in a traditional sales environment, low performers just won't make any money and they'll manage themselves out. And actually commission is almost a lazy way to manage because it just takes care of so many problems. Your top people get paid a lot of money, they want to stay. Your bottom people don't make any money and they leave. And so in lieu of that, we just had to take incorporate other strategies to accomplish the same things, right? We had to be much more proactive around measuring effectiveness, measuring productivity, and managing out bottom performers and having those conversations. And similarly, recognizing top performers in different ways that can include money. So yeah, that was a great challenge. I felt like we conquered it, but I'm not going to lie that when I first heard that in the first day, I had to deal with that. I was reeling a little bit. How do you do something like this?
That's a heck of a pivot. Are there any articles or books that you relied on that others might benefit from availing themselves of?
Yeah. So no, no books or articles, except what I did do is I went out and I saw, are there any other companies that do this? Are there any other companies that has anybody written about, a sales strategy of having a sales team with no commission? And I actually did find another company that was an enterprise company, and the CEO had written a blog post about it. And I reached out to him and he was excited to have the conversation because he was doing something totally different. And so getting his take on how things worked was really helpful in my thinking as well. So I think, no kind of book to refer you to, unfortunately, but a general Google search around whatever topic you're facing, there's probably somebody else, if you can, find it, who's thought about something similar and can be a great source for you.
Cool. Well, I know we've talked about you coming and speaking to TiE at a business for breakfast. So hopefully we can send our members to that event and they can ask more questions there. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Thanks. Happy to help however I can. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Mentorship Minutes are just one way TiE Denver fosters Colorado entrepreneurship. We're part of a global network of 60 chapters with over 15,000 members. Our goal is to be the leading mentorship organization, providing connections, capability, and capital for Colorado entrepreneurs.